Think about this for a second. The universe literally spent 13.8 billion years expanding, forging heavy elements in the fiery hearts of supernovae, and carefully wiring together 100 trillion synapses just to build a mind capable of understanding it all.
Which leaves us with the exact question we ended on last time. What are you going to do with yours? You know, for absolute eons, the cosmos was just the silent theater of matter and energy. But somewhere within that immense, ancient structure, something entirely new emerged. The universe isn't just being observed anymore. An observer is actually awakened within it.
And that brings us to a truly profound threshold. I mean, we've figured out how to measure the weight of stars, we can calculate the vast distances between galaxies, but what happens when that observer turns its attention inward? If consciousness allows us to understand the universe, can it actually understand itself? Because when we start looking at our own nature, the equations completely change.
Let's trace this whole ascent of complexity for a moment. Starting from the primordial plasma of the Big Bang, matter cooled down, stars ignited, and then, on this one small blue world, single cells started to combine, eventually developing into early biological nervous systems. It's like the universe itself was learning how to process information, building the actual biological hardware that makes perception possible.
Now, science has meticulously mapped out the material structures that make all this observation possible. We can actually look at the architecture of the mind through the incredibly clear lens of modern biology and neuroscience.
And honestly, the material facts alone are just staggering. Inside the human skull lies an organ of unfathomable density. We are talking about roughly 86 billion neurons. 86 billion, and they are intricately wired together by 100 trillion synaptic connections. To put that into perspective, it is by all measures one of the most complex structures we have ever discovered in the entire cosmos.
Thanks to modern neuroscience, we can actually track what we call the neural correlates of consciousness. We can map the tangible, physical flow of information as the brain processes a memory, or translates light into vision, or helps you navigate your environment. We can literally sit there and observe this biological machinery at work.
But right here is where we hit the absolute edge of established science. Sure, we can map the mechanical architecture, we can measure the electrical impulses, and yet, the emergence of subjective experience itself remains this profound, totally unsolved mystery. The real question is, why aren't all these complex biological processes just processing in the dark?
So this is exactly where we have to pivot away from strict material description and step into philosophical inquiry. Think about it. The observer, the human brain, can construct an incredibly detailed model of the entire universe. But what exactly happens when that same model tries to fully explain the observer who's constructing it? Can the mind actually decode itself completely?
Back in 1995, philosopher David Chalmers gave this dilemma a name. He called it the hard problem of consciousness. Now, science is making amazing progress on what he called the easy problems, things like mapping attention, tracking behavior, and storing memory. But the hard problem, it asks a fundamentally different question. Why does all this structural physical information processing give rise to a subjective, felt experience at all?
It's getting at the profound mystery of the felt quality of our existence. Why is there a specific redness to the color red? Why is there an actual physical pain to pain? When you really boil it down, why is there something that it feels like to be you?
To try and grapple with this, theorists have proposed a bunch of new frameworks. One hypothesis, known as integrated information theory, suggests that consciousness might actually be identical to the integration of information itself. The idea is that if a material system is sufficiently integrated, it possesses some degree of consciousness. But, and this is absolutely crucial to remember, this remains a deep philosophical inquiry. It's a mathematical and conceptual exploration. It is not an established scientific law.
So we've pushed the boundaries of empirical measurement, and we've stretched the limits of philosophical logic. But beyond the biological brain, and beyond the absolute limits of the mind's ability to just reason about itself, there is another horizon entirely. It's the horizon of the self.
And it's right here that we find an ancient, deeply profound invitation for contemplation. And in yourselves, will you not then see? This isn't a scientific equation, and it was never meant to be one. It is a pure spiritual reflection. After journeying through the macrocosm of entire galaxies and the microcosm of neurowebs, we're being invited to simply pause and look inward.
The Islamic tradition actually speaks of the soul, the ruh, as a profound mystery.
It's explicitly presented as something that exists beyond our full human comprehension. And this isn't some rejection of science. Not at all. Rather, it's this incredibly honest recognition that the deepest core of our existence, the absolute essence of our subjective reality, points to something way beyond what empirical measurement alone can capture.
So we are left to just sit in the silence of this realization. We've mapped the stars, we've mapped the cells, but at the end of the day, who is the one actually doing the observing?
This kind of self-awareness is the dawn of something entirely new in the universe. The observer doesn't just experience the world, it actively reflects on its own existence. It develops metacognition, which is literally the ability to think about thinking. And from this deep self-awareness emerges language, communication. It's this extraordinary capacity to create shared meaning with other observers across vast stretches of time and space.
Which naturally leads us to the next great leap in our cosmic story. If the universe can produce an observer capable of questioning its own existence, what does humanity become once it begins to understand not just the universe around it, but itself? Where does all this shared knowledge, this massive accumulation of meaning, ultimately take us?